Welcome. This is not just a book summary. This is a guide to take back control of your life. Because the truth is, most of us are not being destroyed by the world. We are being destroyed by our own emotions. This book, Master Your Emotions by Thibaut Maurice, is not just something you listen to. It's something you feel. It's something you carry with you. Because it's about the part of you that no one else can fix. Your mind, your pain, your fear, your thoughts. This book will show you why you feel angry for no reason, why you overthink and sabotage your own happiness, why you sometimes feel empty, lost, or frustrated, even when life is going okay, and most importantly, how to break free from that emotional prison. You're not weak. You're not lazy. You're just never taught how to manage your emotions. And this book changes that. So why should you listen? Because no matter where you are in the world, whether you're a student, a worker, a dreamer, or someone who's just tired of feeling stuck, this is the mirror you've been avoiding. And if you watch this till the end, I promise you'll understand yourself better than you ever have. This book summary is also perfect for your English listening practice because it's written in simple, clear English, filled with emotional storytelling, real examples, and powerful messages. So while you learn about mastering emotions, you'll also improve your vocabulary, sentence structure, and understanding of spoken English, all at the same time. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. How your survival mechanism affects your emotions. Understand the wiring inside your mind, and you'll stop blaming yourself for everything you feel. Imagine this. You're sitting at home. Nothing bad has happened, but your heart races. You feel anxious. You start imagining all the worst-case scenarios in your life. Why? Because deep inside your brain, there's a 2 million-year-old system still running, built for survival, not happiness. Thousands of years ago, humans had to fight for life every day. Wild animals, starvation, violence, survival was everything. So the brain evolved with only one job: protect you, not make you feel good, not help you grow, only one job: keep you alive. But in today's world, that ancient brain still exists. It can't tell the difference between a real threat and just an uncomfortable feeling. So what happens? A negative comment online? Your brain treats it like danger. You make a mistake at work? Your brain thinks you're about to die. Someone doesn't reply to your message? Your brain says, "You're not safe. You're not loved." This is the survival mechanism. And it's the reason why so many people live in anxiety, fear, and overthinking, even when there is no real threat. Imagine a man named Alex. 2,000 years ago, if Alex saw a lion in the forest, his brain would flood his body with fear to make him run and survive. Now imagine Alex today, sitting in an office. There's no lion, but his boss sends a cold email that says, "We need to talk." His brain doesn't know the difference. It sends the same fear signals. You're in danger. You're about to lose your job. You're going to fail. You're not safe. This is how our own brain becomes the lion, and it ruins our day, our sleep, and our peace. The lesson: you are not broken. Your mind is just overprotective. And once you realize this, you can stop reacting like a victim and start responding like a warrior. The key is not to fight your emotions. It's to understand them. To say, "This fear is coming from an old system. It's trying to protect me, but I don't have to let it control me." This awareness, this understanding, is the first step to emotional freedom. Chapter 2. What is ego? Ego is not arrogance. Ego is your false self, and it's keeping you emotionally trapped. Now let's go deeper. What really causes most of your emotional pain? Not failure, not rejection. The answer is ego. But ego isn't what most people think. Ego isn't just pride. Ego is the false version of you. The part of you that's always trying to prove something, protect something, or hide something. Let's break it down simply. When you try to look strong, even when you're broken, that's ego. When you fear embarrassment more than growth, that's ego. When you're constantly worried about how people see you, that's ego. And the more your life is controlled by ego, the more you suffer emotionally. Because ego is always chasing an image, a story. And when reality doesn't match that story, it breaks you. Imagine a young man named Daniel. All his life, Daniel was told, you have to be the best. You have to impress everyone. You have to succeed. So he created an image. I'm successful. I'm smart. I'm strong. But one day he fails publicly. He loses his job. He breaks up. He makes a mistake. And suddenly, he doesn't just feel bad. He feels worthless. Why? Because his ego is screaming, this is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm not a failure. I can't let people see this. But here's the truth. Daniel didn't lose his worth. He only lost his ego's mask. The lesson. Ego is the source of emotional fear. It makes you afraid to be seen, as imperfect, as human. To master your emotions, you must begin letting go of this mask. You must become comfortable being real, not perfect. Say this to yourself. I am not my titles. I am not my followers. I am not how people see me. I am who I am, and that's enough. This shift in identity breaks the emotional chains created by ego. Chapter 3. Nature of emotions. If you don't understand your emotions, you'll always be a slave to them. We live in a world that constantly tells us one lie. Your emotions are the problem. But that's not true. Your emotions are not the problem. They're the message. They're the signal, like a red light on your dashboard. If you don't understand what your emotions are or where they come from, you'll always be confused, always reacting, always saying things like, why do I feel this way? Why am I angry when nothing happened? Why am I sad even when everything is fine? To answer that, you must understand what emotions really are. What are emotions? Emotions are your inner response to how you interpret an experience. They don't come from the outside world. They come from your thoughts, your beliefs, your interpretation of what's happening. Two people can go through the same situation, but feel completely different emotions. Why? Because they interpret it differently. Imagine two people sitting on a flight. Suddenly, the plane hits turbulence. Passenger A immediately starts to panic. His heart races. He grabs the seat. He feels like he's going to die. Passenger B just smiles, closes her eyes, and takes a deep breath. Same plane, same shaking, same moment. But one feels fear and the other feels peace. Why? Because emotions don't come from what's happening. They come from what you tell yourself about what's happening. Passenger A thinks, this plane is going to crash. Passenger B thinks, turbulence is normal. It'll pass. That's the nature of emotions. They are reactions to your thoughts. What this means for you, you are not a puppet. Your emotions are not controlling you. Your thinking is. When you feel jealous, angry, insecure, anxious, don't just push the emotion away. Ask, What am I believing that is creating this emotion? That's where the power begins. Sarah walks into a party. She sees two people looking at her and laughing. Instantly, her heart sinks. She thinks, they're laughing at me. Maybe I look weird. Maybe my dress is ugly. I shouldn't have come. She starts feeling small. Her mood drops. Her confidence disappears. But here's the truth. Those people weren't laughing at her. They were talking about a joke someone told. So what created her emotion? Her own interpretation, not reality. Her story, not the truth. The lesson. If you want to master your emotions, you must become a story detective. Every time you feel something painful, ask, what am I telling myself? Is it 100% true? Could I tell a different story? When you change your story, your emotions will follow. This is how you begin to master your emotional life. Not by avoiding emotions, but by understanding where they come from. Chapter 4. The impact of sleep on your mood. Sometimes your sadness has nothing to do with your life, and everything to do with your lack of sleep. Most people think they're depressed. Most people think they're anxious. Most people think something is deeply wrong with them. But sometimes, the truth is much simpler. They're just exhausted. In today's world, sleep is the most disrespected medicine, and your emotions pay the price. Why is sleep so important for your emotions? Because sleep is when your brain cleans emotional toxins, your body regenerates your nervous system, your mind resets emotional balance. When you don't sleep enough, you become more irritable, you overreact, you feel more stressed, overwhelmed, and sensitive. Meet Jacob, a graphic designer with big dreams. For months, he's been working late nights, drinking coffee at midnight, skipping sleep to get more done. And at first, it works. He's productive. He finishes projects. But slowly, he starts snapping at his wife. He cries randomly. He loses interest in things he once loved. He begins to think, am I depressed? Is something wrong with me? But the answer wasn't emotional. It was physical. He was running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep for weeks, and his brain couldn't regulate emotion anymore. Once he began sleeping 7 to 8 hours again, he noticed fewer mood swings, more mental clarity, a feeling of peace returning. The lesson: if your mind feels heavy, before you judge yourself, check your sleep. Ask yourself, am I sleeping enough? Am I going to bed with stress in my chest? Am I giving my brain the rest it needs to recover? Sometimes the most emotional thing you can do is take a nap, and the most productive thing you can do is go to bed early. Chapter 5. Use your body to influence your emotions. Your posture is not just a position. It's a message to your brain. Most people think emotions are mental only, but your body and emotions are deeply connected. Your body sends signals to your brain all day long, and those signals shape your mood. If you want to feel powerful, you must begin by moving powerfully. If you want to feel confident, you must begin by standing like someone who is. How body affects emotions. When you stand tall, your brain releases more confidence chemicals. When you breathe slowly, your heart slows down. When you smile, even fake, your brain starts releasing dopamine, the happy chemical. The body creates emotion, not just the mind. Imagine a girl named Emily. She's smart, kind, and has dreams of being a speaker. But every time she walks into a classroom, she shrinks her shoulders, lowers her head, avoids eye contact. She sits at the back, never raises her hand. She doesn't realize this, but her body is sending a message to her brain. I'm not enough. I don't belong. I want to disappear. So her brain begins to feel anxious, nervous, insecure. One day, her coach tells her, try something different tomorrow. Walk in with your shoulders back, chin up, sit in front, smile, breathe deeply, take space. She tries it, and everything changes. Not because the world changed, but because her body's message to her brain changed. The lesson: you don't need to feel confident to act confident. You can act your way into a new emotion. Before your next meeting, event, or challenge, do this. Stand tall. Roll your shoulders back. Breathe deeply. Walk with purpose. Speak slowly. Your body can carry your mind until your mind becomes strong again. Chapter 6. Using your thoughts to influence your emotions. You are not your thoughts, but your thoughts are shaping your entire life. Let's start with something most people never realize. Every emotion you feel started as a thought. Yes, every time you feel jealous, hurt, hopeless, embarrassed, angry, it all began with a single thought. But we often don't catch it, because thoughts happen fast, like lightning. They're quiet, automatic, and invisible. But they are the script running the movie of your life. So what is a thought? A thought is like an inner sentence. It's what your mind says about what's happening, or what might happen. Event: you see someone else succeed. Thought: I'll never be that good. Emotion: sadness or insecurity. See that? The emotion didn't come from the event. It came from the story you told yourself. That's the real power of this chapter. If you can catch the thought, you can control the emotion. But here's the problem. Most of us never question our thoughts. We believe every single one of them, even when they're destructive. Thoughts like, I'm not good enough. Nobody cares about me. Everything is going wrong. I'll always be like this. I'll never be successful. None of these are facts. They're opinions, formed by fear, past wounds, and limiting beliefs. So how do you take back control? You must do two things. 1. Observe the thought before it becomes emotion. 2. Replace the thought with something stronger. Let's explore both in detail. Step 1. Observe the thought. Most people feel a negative emotion and assume, that's just how I feel. But if you pause for even 10 seconds and ask, what am I thinking right now that's making me feel this way? You'll usually find the thought behind the emotion. And just seeing it breaks its power. Step 2. Replace the thought. This isn't fake positivity. This is mental discipline. Example: old thought. I always mess things up. Replace with, I've made mistakes, yes, but I learn and grow every time. This new thought will lead to a new emotion: hope, courage, peace. Daniel was a quiet 22-year-old who always avoided social situations. Every time he was around people, he felt nervous and awkward. He thought, people don't like me. I'm weird. I don't belong. One day, his mentor asked, what proof do you have that no one likes you? Daniel paused. He had none. His mentor said, that thought, they don't like me, is not the truth. It's your fear in disguise. So Daniel tried something new. He started replacing that thought with, I don't need to be liked by everyone. I'm here to grow, not perform. Slowly, his emotions shifted. His anxiety decreased. His confidence grew. The lesson: your brain is like a garden. Thoughts are the seeds. If you keep planting fear, you'll grow weeds. But if you start planting hope, growth, discipline, your mind will become a place of peace. You are not the prisoner of your thoughts. You are the creator of your mind. And once you understand this, Your emotions will finally become your ally, not your enemy. Chapter 7. Using your words to influence your feelings. Words are not just sound. Words are commands your brain obeys. What you say, out loud or in your head, is not just talking. It's programming. Your brain is always listening, and when it hears the same words again and again, it starts to believe them. It turns them into identity. So when you say things like, "I'm such an idiot," "I can't do anything right," "I'm always so lazy," your brain listens, your body reacts, your emotions collapse. Your words create your emotional world. The problem is, most people speak to themselves like an enemy. You'd never talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself. Would you ever say to a loved one, "You're a failure. You're useless. You'll never make it"? But you say it to yourself, and over time, those words build emotional damage. But here's the power. You can flip the script. When you change your language, you change your identity. And when you change your identity, your emotions follow. Elena, a 28-year-old athlete, had suffered a career-ending injury. She couldn't compete anymore. And every morning she looked in the mirror and whispered, "You're nothing now. You failed." Her depression deepened. She lost her energy. Her relationships suffered. One day, her therapist gave her a challenge. For the next 30 days, I want you to say just one sentence to the mirror every morning. "I am not my past. I am rebuilding stronger." She didn't believe it at first. It felt fake. But by day 10, something shifted. By day 20, she began to walk with her head high. By day 30, she started coaching others, stronger, wiser, more alive. The lesson: every word you speak is a building block. Build wisely. Instead of, "I'm not smart," say, "I'm learning more every day." "I'm lazy," say, "I'm rebuilding my discipline." "I'm broken," say, "I'm healing." Let your words become your emotional armor. Chapter 8. How your breath affects your emotions. The fastest way to calm your mind is already inside you, in the middle of chaos, in the middle of fear. You don't need a book, a guru, a therapist, or even a phone. You need only your breath. Your breath is the remote control for your emotions. Why? Because your breath controls your nervous system, your heart rate, your stress response, your emotional state. Most people breathe like they're in danger, even when they're safe. Short, shallow breaths, fast, tight, chest-based. That kind of breathing tells your brain something is wrong, prepare to panic. But when you breathe slowly, deeply, and calmly, your brain gets a different message. We're safe, we're okay, there's no emergency. And suddenly, your emotions follow that message. The science. There's a nerve in your body called the vagus nerve. It connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and gut. When you breathe deeply, you activate this nerve. It tells your brain, "Calm down, turn off the alarm, we're not in danger." Example: Jason was a high-level executive, known for exploding in anger during meetings. His coach gave him a challenge. Before every meeting, take 10 slow, deep breaths. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6, do it in the bathroom, do it at your desk, just do it. Jason tried it once, then twice, then every day. He noticed fewer outbursts, clearer thinking, a surprising peace inside him. Breath didn't change his life. It gave him back control of it. The lesson: you carry a powerful emotional tool with you everywhere. You don't need money. You don't need technology. You don't need anyone else. Just breathe. And the next time you're scared, Breathe. You're nervous. Breathe. You want to scream. Breathe. You want to quit. Breathe. Because sometimes the fastest way to master your emotions is to pause, close your eyes, and inhale life back into your body. Chapter 9. How to change your emotions. Your emotions are not permanent. They are energy, and you can redirect them. Most people believe that emotions are fixed. They believe, if I'm sad, I'm stuck. If I'm angry, I can't control it. If I'm hurt, I need someone else to fix it. This belief is a lie, because emotions are not permanent. They are temporary reactions created by your thoughts, energy, habits, and environment. And more importantly, emotions are not who you are. They are what you're experiencing. Just like the weather, you can feel cloudy, but you are not the cloud. You can feel hot, but you are not the sun. You can feel cold, but you are not the ice. You are the sky. Emotions are the weather passing through you. So how do we actually change our emotions? Changing emotions is like redirecting a river. You don't try to fight it directly. You dig a new path and let the water follow. There are 5 deep methods you can use to change your emotional state, and the book explores this with great power. Let's go through each method slowly and clearly. 1. Change the story you're telling yourself. Behind every emotion is a story. And if you change the story, you change the emotion. Example. Emotion, sadness. Story, I failed. I'm a loser. New story. I tried something hard. I learned. That's how I grow. Your emotion will shift, not because life changed, but because your narrative changed. 2. Change your focus. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. If you focus on what's missing, what went wrong, what you're afraid of, you will always feel negative emotions. But if you focus on what you can control, what you're learning, what's still possible, your emotional state changes. 3. Change your body. As we've seen in earlier chapters, the way you move, stand, and breathe affects your mood. When emotions feel stuck, move your body. Go for a walk. Do 10 push-upova. Dance like no one's watching. Take deep, slow breaths. Your emotions are energy in motion. Moving the body, boss, moves the emotion. 4. Change your environment. Sometimes it's not your mind. It's the room you're sitting in, the people around you, the noise, the light, the air. Your environment affects your nervous system. Too much clutter, noise, or negativity equals stress. Sometimes the fastest way to change your emotion is to leave the room, step into nature, or just put on music that uplifts you. Change your language. The words you use in your head, self-talk, can either trap you or free you. For example, saying, I'm destroyed makes you feel hopeless. Saying, I'm hurting but I'm healing makes you feel strong. Language creates emotion. To change your emotions, you don't need magic. You don't need someone to save you. You need to take back your power through tiny shifts in how you think, move, speak, and focus. It's not always easy, but it's always possible. A man named Michael spent years building a business he loved. One day, it collapsed. His partner betrayed him. His savings disappeared. He felt broken, angry, depressed. He sat in the same room every day thinking, my life is over. I'm a failure. I have nothing left. Then one morning, he took a deep breath and asked, what if I just change one thing today? He cleaned his room. He took a walk. He called an old friend. He wrote down a new story. This is not my end. This is my beginning. Nothing outside changed, but inside, everything shifted. His emotions began to lift. His energy returned. Within months, he started a new project, rebuilt his finances, and created a life stronger than before. Why? Because he didn't wait to feel better. He acted better. And the emotions followed. Chapter 10. Letting go of your feelings. You are allowed to feel, but you are not meant to carry it forever. Some people never move on. They're still angry about what happened 5 years ago. Still hurt by a breakup from a decade ago. Still carrying shame from a mistake they made at 18. They don't realize that emotions are meant to move through you, not stay inside you forever. But when you hold them in, they become heavy. And soon, that heaviness becomes depression, bitterness, even physical pain. This chapter teaches something profound. You don't let go by forgetting. You let go by feeling completely, and then releasing gently. Why do people hold on to pain? Because pain feels powerful. It gives them a reason to avoid risk. It gives them an identity. It makes them feel like victims. It gives them attention or sympathy. But here's the cost. You can't hold on to pain and still move forward. You have to choose. How to actually let go of emotions. Letting go is not pretending it didn't happen. It's allowing the emotion to fully come, and then breathe it out. Here's the process, step by step. 1. Name it. I'm feeling anger. 2. Allow it. Don't judge it. Just feel it in your body. 3. Feel it fully. Let the tears come. Let the shaking happen. Let the breath be shallow. 4. Breathe and soften. As the wave peaks, take a deep breath and exhale. 5. Choose a new story. Ask, what do I want to carry forward? Anna had a complicated childhood. Her father was emotionally abusive, critical, distant. Even after he passed away, she still carried the hurt. She blamed him for her insecurity, her failed relationships, her low confidence. One day in therapy, she was asked, "Do you want to carry this pain for another 30 years? Or are you ready to feel it and free yourself?" She cried for hours. She wrote a letter to her father she'd never send. She screamed. She forgave. Not because he deserved it, but because she deserved peace. And in that moment, the chains broke. She didn't forget the past, but it no longer ruled her emotions. The lesson. Letting go is not weakness. It's the bravest thing you'll ever do, because it means you're ready to grow, ready to heal, ready to stop being a prisoner of pain and start becoming the author of your life again. Chapter 11. Preparing your mind to feel more positive emotions. You don't have to wait for joy. You can prepare for it. You can invite it. Here's the truth. No one teaches. Happiness is not an accident. Peace is not luck. Joy is not random. These are emotions you can prepare your mind to receive. Imagine your brain as a garden. If you don't plant anything, weeds will grow. Negative thoughts, worry, fear. They grow naturally in an untrained mind. But if you start planting gratitude, love, excitement, peace, and watering them daily, you train your mind to attract and hold positive emotion. So how do you prepare your mind for positive emotions? Start your day with intentional thoughts. Don't just wake up and scroll. Start with 3 thoughts. What can I be thankful for today? What do I want to feel today? How can I serve someone today? Avoid negative input in the morning. No toxic news, violent content, or comparison. Feed your mind peace in the first hour. Practice visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself calm, strong, smiling, fulfilled. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined joy. It responds to both. Reflect at night with grace. Before sleep, don't think about what went wrong. Think about what went right. Even small things. Whisper, "Thank you." Even if it was a hard day. Imagine a beautiful garden. It has the perfect soil. The sun shines every day. Seeds have been planted, flowers, trees, even fruit. But nobody waters it. Days pass, then weeks. And soon, the soil dries. The leaves turn brown. The flowers die before they bloom. Now someone walks by and says, "What a waste. That garden must be broken." But the truth is, it wasn't broken. It was just neglected. It didn't need fixing. It only needed attention, nourishment, consistency. That's how your mind and emotions work. You have potential, beauty, strength, peace. But if you never give yourself quiet moments, gratitude, positive thoughts, rest, joy, then don't be surprised when your emotions feel dry, heavy, or dead. You're not the problem. You just haven't been watering your inner garden. Start today, even one drop at a time, and slowly, the flowers of your peace will bloom again. The lesson: peace is not a gift you receive. It's a place you build inside yourself. Brick by brick, breath by breath. Train your mind to be a home for light, not darkness. Because you are the gardener, and the flowers of joy grow wherever you prepare the ground. Chapter 12. Short-term and long-term solutions to deal with negative emotions. You cannot solve lifelong pain with a temporary distraction, but you can learn to manage both the moment and the journey. When we experience negative emotions like sadness, anxiety, anger, or loneliness, we immediately want to escape. We look for short-term relief, watch YouTube for hours, eat something sweet, scroll social media, complain, blame others, sleep all day, distract ourselves, and in the moment, it works. We feel a little better, but that relief is temporary, and once it wears off, the pain comes back, sometimes worse. That's the difference between short-term fixes and long-term healing. This chapter teaches us something very important. Negative emotions are not evil. They are signals, messengers from within. Your job is not to push them away or hide them. Your job is to handle the moment with care, short-term strategy. Heal the root with patience, long-term strategy. Let's go deeply into both. Short-term strategies, how to survive the moment. Sometimes the emotion is too heavy. You feel panic rising or sadness crushing your chest. You can't think clearly. You just want to escape. Here are healthy short-term tools to calm your system. Deep breathing. 10 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Cold water. Wash your face, hands, shifts your nervous system. Physical grounding. Hold an object, feel its texture, return to the present. Movement. Walk, jump, shake your body, move energy. Safe distraction. Listen to calming music, nature sounds, or uplifting videos. Short-term is not about fixing. It's about soothing, creating space so you can survive the storm. Long-term solutions. How to heal the root. Here's where most people fail. They try to fix deep pain with shallow solutions. They avoid therapy. They avoid self-reflection. They avoid forgiveness. But real emotional mastery comes from doing the deep, slow work. Here are powerful long-term practices. Journaling. Writing down your feelings, questions, patterns. Mindfulness practice. Sitting with your emotions without judgment. Forgiveness. Releasing old resentment. Not for others, but for your own peace. Inner child healing. Understanding the wounded part of you that's still scared. Building meaningful routines. Sleep, exercise, learning, nature. These rewire the brain slowly. seeking help. A good coach, mentor, or therapist can shift everything. The difference in one sentence. Short-term tools help you survive the moment. Long-term tools help you transform your life. You need both. You deserve both. And if you practice them patiently, your negative emotions will stop being your enemy and start becoming your guides. Chapter 13. How emotions can guide you in the right direction. Emotions are not problems to fix. They are maps to follow. Most people treat emotions like enemies. If they feel bad, they push it away. If they feel fear, they freeze. If they feel anger, they explode or shut down. But this chapter reveals a new way to look at emotions. Every emotion is trying to guide you somewhere. Every emotion is a message, a compass, a teacher. If you listen, it will show you what's out of balance. If you ignore, it will become louder, heavier, and harder to control. What different emotions might be telling you? Anger. You feel violated. You need to speak up. Sadness. You're grieving. Something important is missing. Jealousy. You want something, but you believe you can't have it. Fear. You're about to grow. Something important is on the line. Shame. You're carrying a false story about your worth. If you listen, you can take powerful action from each emotion. So how do you use emotions as a guide? Pause and ask, what exactly am I feeling? Locate the cause. What triggered this feeling? What belief is behind it? Ask the message. What is this emotion trying to protect me from or push me toward? Decide the action. What wise step can I take from this emotion? The lesson. If you feel negative emotion, pause. Don't silence it. Don't fear it. Don't distract from it. Ask it. What are you trying to tell me? What's out of balance? What part of me is calling for love? Your emotions are not curses. They are calls for change. Chapter 14. Taking care of what people think of you. Freedom begins the moment you stop being controlled by other people's opinions. This is one of the deepest emotional chains of all. The fear of judgment. What will they think if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if they don't like me? What if I'm not accepted? This fear stops people from speaking up, starting businesses, telling the truth, creating art, leaving bad relationships, taking risks. This fear kills more dreams than failure ever could. This chapter breaks that fear apart. It shows you that people are not thinking about you as much as you think. Their opinions are based on their wounds, not your truth. Seeking approval is a never-ending trap because it's never enough. What matters most is how you see yourself. Ask yourself, why do I want their approval? What part of me feels unsafe without it? Who am I trying to impress? And why? What if I lived for truth, not applause? Here's a truth bomb. People will judge you no matter what you do. If you stay silent, they'll say you're weak. If you speak up, they'll say you're too loud. If you follow your dreams, they'll say you're arrogant. If you give up, they'll say you had no discipline. So you might as well do what feels true to your soul. Example. Lucas was a gifted dancer, but he hid it for years because his family said it was embarrassing and not a real career. He got a job he didn't like. He played small. He was always anxious. One day, he saw a video of a dancer inspiring thousands. Something inside him woke up. He quit his job, moved to a new city, took a risk. He started performing, even when people mocked him. And one day, the same people who once laughed were clapping for him. He didn't wait for approval. He chose freedom over fear. The lesson. Approval is a cage. Freedom is the key. And you're holding it. Let people misunderstand you. Let them talk. You are not alive to please the world. You are alive to become who you were meant to be. And the moment you stop caring about their judgment, you start living in your full emotional power. Chapter 15. Lack of motivation. When your soul feels tired, it's not because you're weak. It's because your mind, body, and heart are out of alignment. Lack of motivation is not laziness. It's not stupidity. It's not a lack of talent. It's a sign, a signal, a message from deep inside that something is not right. Maybe you've felt it. You wake up tired, even after 8 hours of sleep. You know what you should do, but still don't do it. You lose interest in things that used to excite you. You feel like every day is the same. You start saying, "What's the point?" This chapter is not about giving you cheap tricks like make a to-do list or set a timer. It goes much deeper. Because real motivation doesn't come from pressure. It comes from alignment, when your actions, values, energy, and purpose are walking in the same direction. Why do we lose motivation? Let's explore the 5 deepest reasons. 1. You're emotionally exhausted. When you carry too much stress, guilt, shame, or grief, your emotional system burns out. It's not that you don't want to take action. It's that you've lost the energy to care. 2. You're disconnected from purpose. You're doing things that don't excite your spirit. You're living on autopilot. Your soul is screaming for meaning, but your routine is full of noise. 3. You're overwhelmed by pressure. Too many tasks, too many expectations. So your brain shuts down and says, "Let's do nothing instead." 4. You're trapped in perfectionism. You wait for the right moment, the perfect plan, the complete clarity, but it never comes. So you stay frozen. 5. You're comparing your journey to others. You scroll online and feel behind. You think, everyone is ahead. Why even try? And the result of all this? You stop moving. But inside, you're still hurting. So how do you rebuild motivation? This chapter offers a radical truth. Don't chase motivation. Create motion. Even the smallest action, a 10-minute walk, a cold shower, a single journal entry, can reawaken the fire inside. Do something, anything, not to achieve, but to remind yourself that you're alive. You also rebuild motivation through love. Love for your future self. Love for the dream inside you. Love for the person you're becoming. Discipline without love becomes torture, but discipline powered by love becomes unstoppable. Imagine a big mountain standing alone in the cold. There are no flowers, no birds, no colors, just rocks, dry trees, and cold air. People walk by and say, "This mountain is dead. Nothing will grow here again." But deep inside the mountain, something is happening. The snow is melting slowly. The water is moving under the ground. The seeds are resting quietly. The roots are getting stronger, but no one can see it. The mountain is not dead. It's just waiting, preparing, resting. Then, one day, the sun returns, and everything begins to change. Flowers bloom again. Water flows down the mountain. Green leaves grow on the trees. Life returns, all because the mountain was quietly rebuilding, even when no one believed in it. The lesson: if you feel unmotivated, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means something inside you needs to be healed, heard, and reconnected. Return to your values. Remove comparison. Do one small thing. Trust the fire will come back, because it will. And when it does, you won't just feel motivated. You'll feel alive again. This is not the end of a book. This is the beginning of a new version of you. Now you've walked through every emotion. You've seen your fear, your sadness, your shame, your anger, not as monsters to run from, but as messengers to learn from. You've discovered that your thoughts create your reality, that your body can shift your energy, that your breath is your reset button, that your words shape your identity, that your past pain doesn't need to be your future story, that you are not your emotions, you are the master of them. And maybe for the first time in your life, you now realize that you were never weak. You were never broken. You were just never shown the tools. But now, you have them. You know how to heal, reflect, choose, release, grow, and rebuild. So here's my final message to you. Stop waiting to be perfect. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop asking for permission. Stop trying to make everyone happy. The life you want, the peace you deserve, the strength you admire in others, it's already inside you. It's been waiting, patiently, silently. Now it's time to rise. Don't live your life controlled by anger, fear, or the opinions of others. Don't keep dying in your mind while your heart still has dreams. You are not meant to survive. You are meant to transform. So move forward, one breath at a time. And if no one believes in you, let this message be the voice that says, I believe in you. You're not done yet. Subscribe if you're ready to master your emotions. Share this with someone who's silently struggling. And remember, this book didn't just teach you how to feel better. It taught you how to become unstoppable. See you in the next video. And until then, keep rising. You were born for more.